Hello, my name is Michael Miles, and I'm a career coach here with Project Dad. I'm part of People for People, and today we have the distinct pleasure of interviewing Lisa Hutcherson, who's the Director of Human Resources at the Community College of Philadelphia, around this topic of the probation period. So, Ms. Hutcherson, my first question is twofold. What exactly is the probation period, and why do employers use it?
The probationary period is, some call it a trial period, and it's essentially an opportunity for the employer to assess the employee. And it's a trial period because we're easing into this relationship, and sometimes I think about it on a personal level. You have a courtship, and you have shared with me that you hold these qualifications. Your resume tells me that you perform these responsibilities before, you have these qualifications. I interviewed you, you told me you could perform these responsibilities, you had these qualifications. Now I'm going to put you to the test. I'm actually going to give you the responsibilities within the job, and I'm going to be watching you as well as training you and evaluating, is this a good fit? But it's a mutual relationship, so it's not just as the employer, I'm looking to assess you and make sure that you can do what you said you could do and that you can perform up to the expectations of the position, but it's also an opportunity for you as the employee to assess, is this a good fit for me?
And during this time, how long does it typically run for, or does that differ from industry to industry?
It can differ from industry to industry. It can differ from employer to employer. For most employers, at least every employer that I've worked for, it's been 90 days. Some do 60 days. 90 days, I think, is about the norm.
How can this work in the favor of the new hire or the employee?
It's new hires and employees have to remember that it's not just about the employer assessing them. This is their opportunity to make an assessment, because sometimes we think based on a job ad, based on an interview, that this is the ideal fit for me, and in some cases it's not. And so where the employee should be putting the best foot forward, they should also be making their own assessment of the employer. My supervisor, that's a relationship I should evaluate. Is this someone that I want to continue working for? Working conditions, is this a work environment that I want to continue working in? The responsibilities that I've been asked to perform, is it what the employer said I would be doing? Is this something that I can see myself doing on a long-term basis? So the employee really needs to make an assessment at the same time. They should also use it to their benefit, because as the employer, as a supervisor, I'm looking for them to put their best foot forward. So employees need to capitalize on that 90 days. You may only get one shot at making a good impression. You made a good impression in the first interview, but now you have 90 days to really solidify that I'm the person for this job. So as an employer, I'm going to be looking at your attendance record. I'm going to be looking at your work habits. I'm going to look at your attitude. I'm going to look at how well you collaborate with other members of the team. And it's an opportunity for you to really ask questions. And I see people underutilize the value of a probationary or trial period. When I do employee orientations at Community College Philadelphia, I tell our new hires, make the probationary period benefit you. And the only way you can really make it benefit you is to make sure that you understand what the expectations are going into that probationary period. Know what's expected up front. Don't let it be a surprise at the end of a 60 or 90-day evaluation period that, oh, I didn't meet the expectations. A new hire should take ownership and accountability for making sure when they come in the door, how am I going to be evaluated? Ask that supervisor, what are you looking for from me in the first 60, 90 days? How are you going to evaluate me at the end of this period? What should I be learning during this period? And if you're not getting the training, the learning opportunities, you have questions, you have to capitalize on that so that you can make the most of your probationary period, because you want to ensure that you've put it all out there, that they know exactly that they made the right hiring choice. So it's up to the employee to make sure that they benefit from that trial period.
And for someone today that may be watching, what are some final thoughts that you would want to leave that person with, or some last pieces of advice which you want to tell them?
Don't take the probationary period for granted. Some people go into it thinking, day one on the job, I've done my part. I went through the interview, I went through 3 interviews, I got a job offer, I'm in, everything's great. Don't make that assumption. There's still another step in that relationship that you really need to capitalize on. So I say to everyone, maximize the opportunity that you have. Make sure that you're clear on the expectations and what they're going to be looking for at the end of that probationary period to make a firm determination that you're the person for that job. And if you're not sure what that involves or what's entailed in that, make sure you ask questions.
Thank you very much, Ms. Hutchinson.
Well,
there you have it. Learn some things that we can do today to help set ourselves up for success when it comes to the probation period. So we hope this helps.